Well, good morning and welcome to Coffee Chat with David and Kylie Knight.
Hey, thank you so much for being here this morning. Yes, today is a Thursday, May the 7th, 2020, and it is also National Day of Prayer.
What?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. We can all use some more prayer, can't we?
Absolutely. So that's cool. Caitlin is watching. Hey, Caitlin.
Hey, good morning. Good to see you. Well,
Hello,
hey, if you're
neighbor.
that's right, our neighbor. If you're here checking us out, be sure to like and share. Tell others.
Exactly.
Sharing is caring.
All that stuff. Got our coffee.
We got our coffee.
Tell us.
What are you drinking? Where are you watching from? Your comments make the show fun.
Exactly. It's not as much fun if it's just us.
Yeah. Well, our guest is going to make it a lot of fun.
True.
He's phenomenal, and you guys are going to really enjoy him this morning. I saw a little thumbs up. Thank you for that. Perfect.
Thank you.
And
the comments, do the hashtag Hello Nights. Hashtag Cup of Awesome. Yeah.
Which was named after Kylie. Hey, we got Kyle Froman joining us today.
Hey, good morning, friends.
Good morning, friends. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since we've seen you.
Right?
It'd be good to catch up again. Love to know what's going on in his world. Fantastic guy.
I think he's been doing the little car races or something in his backyard.
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That was awesome.
We need some video of that. Wouldn't that be cool?
It would be cool.
Video? Yeah. I love it. Awesome. Well, you guys are all coming in. We appreciate you joining us. We had a pretty good day yesterday.
Yeah, it was great. It was a long day.
It was a long day. Started early with,
coffee chat. And we worked all day long. And then the evenings we had 2 separate virtual shows. So one in Texas, then we waited a couple of hours for the West Coast to catch up, and then we did one for the West Coast.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun.
It was great. And then finally sleep.
And then she crashed.
I'm done.
Well, and we also finished off watching Three Amigos, because we didn't get to finish watching it on Cinco de Mayo.
No.
So
we finished that. That was great.
It was great. It's such a good movie.
Show.
Oh my goodness. I love almost every line in that movie. Poor Kylie has to listen to the movie twice, because once on screen and once with me.
That is not a joke. But we love it.
That's right.
Well, shall we get started with today's guest?
Yeah. So we had the chance to meet this morning's guest, I guess it was about a year ago. It seems like longer. I feel like we've known him longer than that, but I feel like it's only been about a year.
Okay.
And
he might be able to tell us.
He probably knows better. But he brought us on for his show called All In. Mm-hmm. And they had been doing
a TV show.
Yeah, it's a TV show, and they'd been doing this string of magicians, and we got invited to be a part of it. And for a year we've been saying we're going to have you on our show. And
every now and again he pops onto Coffee Chat, and we're like, "Hey, Bryan, we need to have you on Coffee Chat." So it took a pandemic for it to happen, but we're finally having Bryan on our show.
Yeah, so would you guys please welcome Bryan Weatherford to the show?
Woohoo!
Bryan, and it takes a moment. There he is. And good morning.
Hey guys, look at us.
Hey!
Look at you.
Hey.
Oh man.
Well, you look good.
I know, look at that shirt.
Nice shirt.
How about that shirt? Well, there's a story behind this shirt.
Oh.
David, I knew I'd never be able to match you for hair. And then there's no way I could ever be as beautiful as Kylie. So I had to go with a shirt. That's the only thing I got going for me this morning.
Well, it works on you. I like it, my friend.
Thank you.
We could never be Bryan.
That's true.
So,
you're in our heads when we interview people. So.
Well, it's really good to see you guys, and sorry it did take a pandemic to do it. And by the way, it was November of 2018.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow. So a year and a half? Man, look at you.
See, he knew.
I finally got to the point, I started the TV show, and as I've beaten you guys up time after time with all the magicians, I love magic.
Yeah.
And magicians of your caliber, I usually can't afford to see. So it was just cheaper to invite everybody to the show and watch you there.
I love it.
That works.
Hey, Kathy Hutchison also thinks you have a very nice shirt.
Yeah.
So
hi, Jen. Hi, Kathy. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, welcome. Well, hey, let's get started on this. We mentioned as in your kind of introduction there that you host a TV show. tell us about that show. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you about how you got that gig, but tell us about the show first.
Great. I appreciate that. The show's called All In with Bryan Weatherford, and it's kind of funny. They had the name of the show for quite a while, and they finally found a guy named Bryan Weatherford so they could put it on the air. And I just kind of fell into it that way. We'll discuss that further later. But
Yeah.
we're a talk show. We're on Monday through Friday at 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock. It's antenna television. I tell people that, and they kind of freak out. Oh my, antenna? So you're on the internet? No, antenna. And in a nutshell, the easiest way to say it, we've all heard in recent years about people cutting the cable because prices are getting pretty expensive in a lot of different areas to watch media. So when you cut the cable, you lose a lot of stuff, but you can get an antenna and plug it into the back of your TV. And depending where you are, like here in Fort Worth where I am, I get 88 channels, so they're all free. And the neat thing is they're all high def channels. And so when I first took the show, I didn't have an antenna. I'm like, well, I got to be able to watch my own show. So I went to Best Buy and I said, I'd like the most expensive antenna you have. And $29 later, I had it. Whoa. So you literally just plug an antenna into the back of your set. Mine's plugged into the back of my big, manly 70-inch television. It's plugged in the back and thumbtacked to the wall. It's about the size of a mouse pad. There's nothing on top of your house. There's nothing in the front yard, anything.
Nice.
And so it's antenna television. And that's the way you catch it with a TV antenna. The whole network, we're in 42 markets across the United States. Not my show yet, but the whole Biz Television network is. And my show is about, as it says, all in. So for example, today we're all into city government. Here's the mayor of Arlington, Jeff Williams. Today we're all into magic. Here's David and Kylie. Today we're all into sports. Here's so-and-so with the Texas Rangers. But first and foremost, as a Biz TV network, we're into business, entrepreneurs. And our mission is to help people to share their stories. Everybody has stories. Yes. And it amazes people, even like yourself. A lot of people think, magic, that's cool. But for you guys, it's a business. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's always the business side of things that come into it that most of us don't see. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you still have to market yourself. You still have books to handle, etc. People don't realize that stuff. A lot of times they're told that, hey, you really are good at baking chocolate chip cookies. You should get in the cookie business. Mm. So they get in the cookie business and they're really good at baking cookies, but they're not so good about negotiating a lease for space or advertising or all those types of things. So we just get tips from people that are entrepreneurs to help people out that would like to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Love it.
You do a great job of it.
You really do.
And we kind of tease this a little bit, but your entree into this level of your world was kind of unique. Tell us about how you ended up with the gig.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary, by the way. Next month in June will be 2 years that I've had the show.
Hey, nice. Thumbs up and plus for that.
The show was around for a little over a year before I came on board. And so the guy, Mark Jokel, hi Mark. Mark Jokel did the show for a year, and I was on a few times just as a guest, just talking about small business. And initially we were all about Arlington. I'm born and raised in Arlington, Texas. And when you live to be my age, you have a lot of stories about your hometown, particularly when you still live there. So I would come on the show periodically as a guest and just talk and tell stories and whatnot. Well, Mark took a new position, another company in Arlington, had to leave abruptly. Station management was, well, hey, we can't have a show without a host. Call Bryan Weatherford, see if he'll do it. So I go in, I meet with him, and immediately said, hey, you want to host the show? I said, man, I'd love to, but I don't have time. I mean, I'm doing so many other things, and I like that. I just don't have the bandwidth to make it happen. And so they said, well, hey, if you could come in on Monday and be a guest with Mark, we could talk some more later. I said, I'm happy to do that. So I came in, sat down in the guest chair, cameras come up. Mark said, hey, welcome to the Mark Jokel Show. Look, it's our old buddy, Bryan. You know Bryan. He's been on the show several times. He has a lot of great stories, knows a lot of people. And as a matter of fact, get a good look at Bryan because I just took a new job here in town. I'm out of here. Bryan's the new host. He'll be right back with his first guest. And we cut the commercial.
And he walked out the room.
And here I am 2 years later.
Well, you guys love that story. That's just cracks me up.
Yeah, it's neat.
No one else gets a job like that.
No, that's true.
There.
Well, I've adapted, and now we were running numbers the other day. I've interviewed about 600 people now since I started. So it's a lot of fun, and I've been talking my whole life, and now I get paid to do it, and it just kind of works out
Yeah,
well.
the job's pretty perfect for you.
Thank you.
So well,
So there you go.
and you alluded to it just a second ago, but you've kind of had to pivot what you do with that recently. Tell us a little bit about your pivot and your change with all that.
Sure, absolutely. Like we all have, there's been a lot of pivoting going on,
Yes.
and we're certainly no exception. We have a beautiful studio right in downtown Arlington,
Mhm.
but for the last 6 weeks, instead of having guests in studio, everybody is much like you guys are doing today. It's all video. We're all zooming in to studio. Took a little while to get used to. You
Sure.
guys nailed it from day one, but it was a little dicey for me just interviewing a camera and not getting to see the people and stuff. But it's worked and makes people feel comfortable. And we've been able to expand our guest reach in that. Earlier this week, I had a guest from Louisiana, I had a guest from Florida, I had a guest from
Oh,
California. They certainly never would have flown in to do
no,
my meager show,
that's
but
awesome.
they can zoom in,
Yep.
Yeah,
and it works out really well. So
great.
again, we're all about telling stories, and we get to tell stories about people regardless of where they are. So that's kind of an upside of this whole
Yeah,
thing.
that's
So
truly
good.
pivoting and making the most of this time where, getting people who wouldn't normally be able to come in. I love it.
You gonna hit the next one?
Yeah, we're it's working out well.
Yeah.
So, Bryan, along with being a TV host, you're also an auctioneer for nonprofit groups. How have those events
Yeah.
been impacted, and how are you handling them now?
Oh, that's a very timely question, Kylie. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm an auctioneer specifically for nonprofit groups.
Yeah.
I want to get that out there. The way I got into it, as I mentioned, I've been talking my whole life in one way or another, and would get involved with nonprofit groups, and we've all been to. You guys have certainly been there personally and professionally. We all go to the Black Tie Gala for XYZ charity. And inevitably, they'll bring in what I call a real auctioneer, which is very impressive, no disrespect whatsoever to that profession. But they bring in a real auctioneer to get up there to start raising money for the charity. And frankly, if you don't buy cows for a living, you don't have a clue what's going on. And so it's very stressful for people. They're afraid they're going to scratch their nose and bid on the trip to Cabo that they really can't afford. So instead, they sit on their work. And so I get up there and I'm kind of funny and quick-witted, and I play people off of each other in a very friendly banter, but it develops friendly competition in an entertaining way. And at the end of the day, it loosens up the wallets and it helps people to raise money. So springtime is a big time of year for all the nonprofit groups. And of course, when COVID hit, it killed all the deals, and a lot of them had to cancel. And the very first one that canceled, I was meeting with them, and it was a big gig for me. And I'll be honest, a lot of them I do free, but a lot of the bigger ones I do get paid to work. And so this particular was a nice piece of business for me, getting paid. And when it canceled, I'm like, man, I can't believe this. That's terrible. I'm not getting my fee, and blah blah blah. And God kind of came into my head all of a sudden, slapped me around and said, "Oh, really? Sorry about your fee. Oh, by the way, they were going to make $250,000 on that event. They're getting nothing." So it kind of put me in my place, as it should.
He does that.
And so I realized, yeah, man, what a putz I am, right? And so all the events, a lot of them canceled. Many of them have rescheduled to come back later in the fall.
Okay.
But we did have one event just last Friday night that went full steam ahead, and they moved the event to a digital event, did the whole thing online. And instead of the 400 people that normally go to the event, they stayed at home on their couch with their own food and beverages, and watch everything online, and bid on their phone. You go to the events these days and you can set up your cell phone to bid on the silent auction items, and in my case, the live auction items. And the only person talking live that night was me, because everything else was pre-recorded. So we pre-recorded videos of the executive director or the chairman of the board.
Wow.
Chairman of the board came out to give awards. They always give awards to people that have worked really hard with the nonprofit throughout the year. It's a group that works with a lot of kids. Kids recorded videos so everybody could see the kids and everything. And it worked out well. And from a financial standpoint, we were really blessed, because an event like that usually has $25,000 to $30,000 in expenses.
Right.
They have to rent a venue,
It's true.
cover the food, cover the drinks, cover the entertainment.
Yeah.
All that went away. And even better than that, those expenses, thankfully, are always covered with sponsorship dollars. The sponsors, to their credit, all stepped up and said, no. Here's the check. We love you guys. We love your mission. So those $30,000 worth of checks, instead of covering expenses to get them back to even, immediately went to profit for the event.
That's fantastic.
And so throughout the night, when I was talking on the mic, I would remind people, hey, normally it's $100 a head to go to this thing. And Kylie, I'm guessing if you and David were going to this event, you'd want to get a new outfit. So that's more money you'd spend.
Of course.
In the case of this couple, I'm guessing both of you would want to go get a new outfit. So that's more money you'd have to spend. But now instead, you're sitting home in your t-shirt and your gym shorts. So
and she still wants a new outfit.
I still need a new outfit for it.
Well, I appreciate you getting a new outfit for me being on your show today. You look great. Thank you. So anyway, I would remind people, remember, you're sitting on your couch. You didn't have to buy a ticket. So pull out your phone once again, make a donation right now. And at the end of the day, the event raised the same money it did last year. And it just worked out really well. So all that to say is stay tuned, because I may have a new little business coming.
Oh,
fantastic.
That is awesome. Let's see some thumbs up and hearts for that. That's a great,
fire up
great
those
story.
hearts. Let's see if fireworks going on.
Real quick, we have a comment from Kathy Hutchison said, that's awesome. I love what's happening in the virtual events. I just got an invitation for a virtual wedding. Oh.
Yeah,
yes.
I think some of those are happening.
I think so.
People were waiting to see if they would just postpone, but yeah, virtual.
But man, that's fantastic to be able to make that kind of money.
It is during this time.
Yeah. And I think it's great too, because from a person watching perspective, there's always that kind of question in your mind. It's like you look around the room at these black tie events and you're thinking, boy, look at all this money they've spent on this. Couldn't they have just taken that money and put it to whatever event we're here to sponsor? And the fact that you're kind of able to shift and pivot and kind of take that away even.
I wonder if you're gonna see more of that in the future, not because we can't go out, but because this is maybe a new way of doing things.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Although I still love those split fairs.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, and there's nothing like being there in person and having the entertainment and all the two. So nah.
There's pluses, but I think even a combination, because as an auctioneer, and I always work with these groups in advance, and I tell them, hey, whether it's a live auction or a silent auction, the more people you have bidding, the more money you're going to make.
Yeah.
And so even if you still have the event as is, but open the auction up to where people are sitting at home, at the end of the day, if you're sitting at home bidding, you may not get anything, but whoever does get the item is paying more money for it.
Yep.
And that's why we're all there in the first place. So if nothing else, I could certainly anticipate some hybrids.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, and you mentioned that you do that specifically for nonprofits. Now you and your wife are really into supporting nonprofits, and you guys have another interesting venture that you're working with on that.
Oh, we do.
Tell us about that.
Oh, Pam will be so happy. My wife, Pam. Hey there.
Hi, Pam.
We bought a little franchise business about a year ago called Teddy Bear Mobile. So in a nutshell, and I say this is Pam's baby. I help her out behind the scenes. I'm not out there in the front of Teddy Bear Mobile. But it's a genius business plan. So if someone has an 8-year-old daughter and it's her birthday and she's inviting her 20 little friends over for a birthday party, when in the old days, you'd all come over, you pile in the car, you go to the mall, and you build your own animal at a store. Very, very good time. Yeah. Well, Teddy Bear Mobile brings the party to you. And so Pam shows up with a big stuffing machine and all the animals and everything, and the kids get to build their own animals right there on site. And then Pam packs up and leaves. The mom loves it because she doesn't have to pack everybody up and bring all the gifts back or anything. Everything's done at home with the same fun.
That's brilliant.
And we're always looking for different ways, and Pam just came up with a cute little bear for doctors and nurses, medical professions, and it has a mask and shoes. And I'm going to try to hold him up.
Yeah, show us.
We want to see that.
Show and tell.
Is he showing up?
He is. Oh, look how cute he is.
Look at his little feet.
Little Dr. Bear.
He's
cutest little
so she's
Dr.
doing a deal right now to get people to buy those, to recognize people. And we're also doing a big fundraiser with Cook Children's Hospital here in Fort Worth. They actually have a prayer bear mission where they get all the teddy bears donated. There's a whole group of people that prays over the teddy bears once they get there. And every kid that comes to Cook's for any reason at all leaves with a teddy bear. And so We have a dear friend of ours who their granddaughter was at Cook Children's Hospital, really appreciated the treatment. So they've kickstarted this campaign and they bought, they prepaid for 100 of these teddy bears. And we use that as a boost to get going. And we hope to get 500 teddy bears to donate to Cook Children's Hospital. And it's all through Teddy Bear Mobile Fort Worth. So check it out. There's a plug. Thank you for asking.
Oh, absolutely. Now, is that also the website? Oh, yep.
Yep, Teddy Bear Mobile Fort Worth. Yeah, you can go to the Facebook page.
Or teddybearmobile.com?
Teddy Bear Mobile, Teddy Bear Mobile FortWorth.com. Yes.
Fort Worth. Okay.
Gotcha.
Maybe it's slightly different.
Teddy Bear Mobile. Yeah, you can even go to teddybearmobile.com. That'll work.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sure that's probably the parent organization, right, for the franchisees.
Maybe.
Okay.
Correct.
Oh,
And then they'll say type in your zip code or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So it's a lot of fun, and it's really good for fundraisers too. And it was funny. Pam was all set to do a fundraiser at Mansfield High School. It's the Mansfield Tigers.
Oh.
So she bought 100 tigers
no.
to go to Mansfield High School to sell all the tigers. And then the thing canceled. She's stuck with all these tigers. And then this TV show came out with Tiger in the name. I'm not here to plug the show. Don't know that I approve of the show, but let's just say it did have a huge fan base.
Yeah.
And you want to talk pivot? That's off to my wife. She pivoted and sold the 100 tigers pretty quick with a Tiger King T-shirt on them.
Oh, isn't she smart?
You never know what you gotta do these days. That worked out well.
Oh, way to go, Pam.
And thank you, Kathy, for putting that website up there.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you mentioned on All In that you guys are a lot about business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Small business owners, entrepreneurs, things like that. So what advice would you have for businesses that are or have been closed due to this pandemic, and what should they do to keep communication with their customers?
That's a great question. When we talk about it all the time, because so many businesses, when they close and they just shut off. You've got to keep updating. You've got to update your social media channels.
Yeah.
You certainly need to update your website. I pulled up a business the other day, yesterday, just to see, hey, when are they going to be reopening and stuff? And they were touting, they're really big. They're looking forward to it. Their St. Patrick's Day event, March 17th. That's the only thing they had on the website. And so my advice would be, you get out there and say, hey, we're thinking about you. Can't wait to see you again, etc. Let them know that you're still active. They don't want to think that you're just never going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And then a side benefit of that too is it really gives your staff a shot in the arm for them to see that you're still out there promoting the business. Gives them some semblance of hope that they have a job to come back to when this is all said and done. So you can't just go dark.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we stress just on my show in general, but in life in general as well. I mean, get out there. I mean, just stay active. And if you're about to reopen, I work with a family entertainment center here in Arlington and Hurst, Alley Cats. And so we're already showing, hey, we're getting ready. Don't know what the date's going to be. Well, we're getting ready. Here's what we're doing. And we're just putting up little videos of laying out the floor decals for the 6-foot spacing, showing all the extra cleaning procedures we're going through. Here's a stack of masks that our staff will be wearing. Look at all these hand sanitizer bottles. I mean, we're ready to go. As soon as the governor says go, we're there. So I think it's very important to stay visible.
Yes.
To let people know that you're still alive and kicking, and that as soon as it's legal, you're going to hit play, and here we go again in a safe way, both for the guest and for the staff members.
Absolutely. That's so true. Yeah, I've seen there's a theater that we're going to be working with, and now it's going to be the fall. It was supposed to be last month, but obviously we shifted, and they're in South Carolina. And they've been putting up videos about, they're still building sets for their shows that they're going to do, and they're still rehearsing and they're still preparing because, I think you're right. Once this opens up, I think there's going to be a floodgate. People are going to be ready to be back,
for sure.
In live events or ready to go back and support their favorite businesses and all that. So
I'm ready to go.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Well.
Shall we get to it?
Yeah. You've given some amazing questions, some pretty deep, or some amazing answers to pretty deep questions. But we're going to shift and we're going to pivot now, and we're going to do something a little more fun with the lightning round that we call 5 questions.
5 questions. Okay.
5 questions.
Cool.
All right.
All right. First question: what are you binge watching right now?
I've got to say, and it's been here within the last week, I binge watch a lot of things, but this whole Michael Jordan Last Dance thing that's on right now, it just fascinates me. From a variety, I mean, I love sports. Who doesn't love Michael Jordan? But the way that they did this, and they're just now showing all this footage that was shot over 20 years ago, when they were just compiling it, not knowing what they were going to do with it. But it was the whole, it's called The Last Dance because they knew it was going to be the last season that team as it was would be together because the ownership was going to blow it up
I
at the
was
end
wondering.
of the year. So they took all the video and everything and just been sitting on it. And they put it together. And actually, to their credit, ESPN was not going to release this to the fall, but there's not a lot of sports on TV these days. So they released it. And so I've been binge watching that to the point that I've recorded the different episodes and go back and watch them again. So I have re-binged this one, The Last Dance.
Oh, you're re-binging.
Wow.
That's a first.
Re-binge. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Binge and re-binge.
Heard good things about it. Okay, so if you could have any other job than the one you have right now, what would it be?
Wow. Any other job but the one I have right now? I guess selfishly, to work by myself, I would love to be a professional golfer. And I'm about as far away from being a professional golfer as you could be. I just think that would be neat. To be a pro golfer. That would be one. And then probably the one that would probably be closer, but still pretty far-fetched. I would love to be a stand-up comic.
I can see that.
So there you go. I'd like to
do
that. One of these days, I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna do 10 minutes at an improv club just to get it out of my mind, and then go back and practice my golf game and get it.
Well, which is funny because my golf game is comedic, so you know.
Fair enough. We would do well together.
Okay, so next question. What is your favorite to-go order?
My favorite to-go order. Well, I'm gonna have to go two routes. One would be fast food. Fast food, the greatest fast food in the history of mankind, Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
And I'm not even getting into the business ethics of stuff, which I truly love, but I'm not going that direction. But that's a big part of it, to be honest with you. But I have a standing bet that I can eat 25 Chick-fil-A nuggets faster than anybody you can bring. I'm not saying I can eat more than anybody. I'm a sprinter, guys. I'm a sprinter.
Okay,
I can eat 25 Chick-fil-A nuggets faster than anybody you can name. So I have a friend of mine. He said, "What about my 8-year-old twins?" I said, "Bring it on. I'll take them both on." So they get 25 nuggets in front of the 8-year-old twins that they're sharing, and my 25 nuggets. And I just danced on them when it was over and threw a napkin out and said, "I'm out of here."
There was no competition, was there? Really?
Buddy, you should have had triplets. So that would be the big one for me. But for other, there's a lot of takeaway food, to go food now. There's a little Mexican joint over here in Fort Worth that I love. Tex-Mex is my favorite food. So I usually don't get food to go from there, but I've been all about small business, as we all should. Any of your small business neighborhood places now that are doing curbside pickup, a lot of them, it's a new thing for them. They need your support because here's the deal, selfishly, I want to make sure that restaurant's there when this is over so I can go back to my old days. So I'm doing it to help them, but I'm doing it to help me too. So I would say any of my little neighborhood restaurants is my favorite to-go food next to Chick-fil-A.
Love it.
Good
You're
answers.
so good.
I know. I
love that about you, Bryan.
All right. So what are you reading right now when you're not re-binging The Last Dance? What are you sitting down to read?
Well, I'm embarrassed to say I haven't been reading a lot of anything. You know, I mean,
You're a busy
I'm not
man.
reading much of anything. I'm reading some business books. There's a book called The Great Game of Business, to where they've kind of turned business into a game, and you have your different departments, and you want to challenge them to put together a game. Maybe it's a goal for your social media team that they want to have X number of likes on the page by a certain date, and that's part of the game. And if they hit the goal, then they win a paid day off, or they win dinner with the boss or something. But it's just kind of a different way to look at business. Divide your whole staff into different teams. Let them come up with their own games and their own rules and even their own goals and prizes, and put it together. It's just an interesting spin on teamwork getting people to work together. So I don't read a lot, but that is one I'm currently reading, The Great Game of Business.
Great game.
Great game of business.
All right, last one. They decide to make a movie of your life, Bryan. Who plays you?
David.
David. This
David would have to play the younger me, I guess, but
Okay.
I'd have to say, and he's no longer with us, but the guy that I would love to have played me in a movie would have been Dudley Moore. And you guys probably don't even know Dudley Moore.
Oh, yeah.
But going back to Arthur, Arthur's my all-time favorite movie for whatever reason. But he was a short, funny guy with a big nose. I can relate. So I would have chosen Dudley Moore or possibly a Muppet to play me.
Or possibly a Muppet. That's a pretty good combination there.
All right.
Oh, man. Well, Bryan, thank you so much for joining us today. It has been such an honor.
And you did great in the role of interviewee.
Wow, this is nerve-wracking. You know, when you're in this seat, you don't know what's coming.
That's
right. You know, it's like baseball. Baseball is the only sport to where the defense controls the game, meaning the offense that has to make runs, they can't do anything until the pitcher throws the ball. And so in other sports, the offense is in charge of everything. So I'd rather be offensive than defensive. I'm on the defense today, but you guys always do a great job interviewing. And I'll just give you a warning. Next time I invite you to the show, I may say, hey, look who it is. It's our old buddies, David and Kylie. And as a matter of fact, get a good look because I just took a new job.
No, we're out.
So I just wanted to warn you about that.
I love it.
So you won't be offended when we decline your invitation to come back.
You couldn't afford the pay cut.
Well, man, thank you so much. This has been an honor, and we will see you around.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Bryan.
He's such a great guy. Well, tomorrow we have another amazing interview. We hope.
He'll be there.
He'll be there. Bradford Loomis is a fantastic musician. He had some issues last week, but he's going to be
all in.
He's all in tomorrow. Exactly. Nice callback.
Thank you.
I like that. So we look forward to seeing you guys with us tomorrow. Be sure to check out Bryan's stuff. Check him out on Biz TV.
Yes.
You get that antenna television thing that he talked about.
Right.
Also check out the.
If you need an auctioneer for a nonprofit, he's your man. Can check out teddybearmobile.com.
Yep.
Especially the Fort Worth people.
That's right. And we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.
Have a great day, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.